morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Liquor Kenobi. And before we get started, guys, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So, J.D. Abrams will produce next two Star Trek movies. Is this a recipe for a fan disappointment? So, I will say this. I was okay with the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, the Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, I believe it was. But I'm not really a Star Trek fan. I was never a Star Trek fan. I was always a Star Wars fan, and all. But I do respect the characters of what they were going with, and everything. And I respected William Shatner, bro. William Shatner, he played a hell of a good Captain T. Kirk, man. Because I saw some of his show, a couple of his episodes and everything, and they were pretty good during that time. And a couple of those movies that came out in theaters years ago. And like I said, dude, I mean, it was pretty good in the beginning, bro. It was pretty good. So I do wish them the best. So I wish Paramount the best of luck if they can get Star Trek back on track. So Paramount Pictures has announced the development of two new Star Trek films, both under the production umbrella of J.J. Abrams. According to a recent Deadline report, one project promises the return of Captain Kirk and his iconic crew, while the other has introduced fresh characters directed by Toby Haynes of Andor fame. Yeah, like I said, dude, they really are trying. They are trying their best. And they are trying to bring Paramount, if you don't know, remember now, they are trying to do another Top Gun movie. And also, they're trying to bring back Transformers under the helm of Michael Bay. So, we'll see how that goes. So, let's keep reading here. On the surface, this sounds like a bold expansion for the franchise, but with Abrams at the helm, the architect of the divisive Kelvin timeline movies, and his longtime collaborator Alex Kurtzman looming in the background as a key figure in modern Trek, many fans fear this will deliver more of the action-heavy, lore-bending spectacle that's left traditionalists cold for over a decade. The announcement comes as Paramount, now under Skydance ownership, positions Star Trek as a priority across the company. According to co-chair Dana Goldberg, the first film scripted by Steve Yockey will reunite familiar faces like Kirk and Spock, presumably picking up from the Kelvin timeline established in Abrams' 2009 reboot. The second, penned by Seth Graham Smith and produced alongside Simon Kinberg, aims to explore new territory with Haynes directing. No release date or plot details have been revealed, but Abrams' involvement in both ensures this signature style will permeate these projects. To understand the oppressions, we must revisit Abrams' Kelvin timeline trilogy, Star Trek Into Darkness, and Star Trek Beyond. These films reimagine the original series with a younger cast including Chris Pine as Kirk, Zachary Quinto as Spock, and Zoe Saldana as Uhura, while commercially successfully grossing over $1 billion combined. They were criticized for prioritizing high-octane action over the thoughtful exploration that defined Gene Roddenberry's vision. Others point to lore inconsistencies, like altered character backstories as a faster-paced narrative that felt more akin to Star Wars. Ironically, Abrams would later direct The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker for Lucasfilm. Even Star Trek Beyond director Justin Lin, and often praised as the strongest entry, couldn't fully escape the shadow of Abrams' influence as producer. Critics argue the timeline was a convenient excuse to give a Star Trek a fresh coat of paint, but it sacrificed the franchise's soul for blockbuster appeal. Abrams has openly admitted he wasn't a Star Trek fan growing up, once calling it too philosophical and wishing it were more like Star Wars. This detachment, fans say, shows in the end product. Yeah, like I said, dude, I mean, a lot of fans got very upset with this, bro. But like I said, to me, I wasn't a Star Trek fan, but I kind of like I kind of liked it, you know. But I'm always going to be a Star Wars fan, no matter what, you know. But now with the Star Wars, the way they've been doing it, I'm not liking neither right now. Jeez. Alex Kurtzman, Abrams' disciple and the face of modern Trek roles. Though not explicitly named in the new film's announcements, Alex Kurtzman is strictly linked to Abrams' Star Trek era. As co-writer on the first two Kelvin films alongside Roberto Orci, Kurtzman helped shape the reboot's controversial direction since taking the reins of Star Trek television in 2018. He's overseen shows like Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, and Lower Decks, productions that have polarized audiences even further. Kurtzman's tenure is vertically derided for injecting woke elements, portraying a corrupt Starfleet, and emphasizing grim realism over optimism. Many label his shows as bland and generic Hollywood fare that misunderstands the franchise. As Abrams' longtime collaborator, dating back to projects like Alias and Mission Impossible 3, Kurtzman is seen as a disciple by some. Their shared style has turned Trek into a spectacle-driven brand far from its roots in optimism and exploration. With Abrams producing the new films, it's reasonable to expect Kurtzman's influence, whether direct or indirect, perpetuating the same issues. Yeah, like I said, in other words, man, fans are a bit worried about this. Fans are worried that if this show is going to go into a flop, and you know, for their sake, bro, for Paramount's sake, I hope it doesn't, bro. For Paramount's sake, I hope it doesn't. And after all, Paramount is trying to get rid of all their DEI woke nonsense, bro. So hopefully they will do that. But if J.D. Abrams does not get it together, bro, and Alex Kurtzman does not put all that woke element in there, bro, maybe there's a chance it will succeed. But if not, I feel sorry for Paramount, man. But we'll see. All right, guys. That's going to be it for this video. So I will make sure that the link will be in the description below so you guys can read this. So please, by all means, share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.